Hello, my name is Mrs. Diener, and I want to personally welcome you to English 1301. First, I want to start off just telling you a little bit about myself because I think you need to know that we're human beings first. I am teacher second. I've been married for 31 years, which is a very long time, and I have two children, a daughter and a son. Both of them are nearing the end of their Texas A&M University experience. Are and both of them are 12 months and 6 days apart. So it's been very fun having them so close in age. I also graduated from Texas A&M, which makes it even sweeter that they chose my school. I started off though as a WCJC student, and I was here for a year and a half before transferring to a major university. I had graduated from a very small high school, and so Wharton was a great place for me to begin my journey, as many of you have chosen to do so. I received my bachelor's degree in curriculum and instruction from Texas A&M University, and I taught in two different public schools, junior high and high school, before moving to Victoria with my husband. And I got a job working at the college there, Victoria College, teaching developmental English, and was able to work on my master's degree. I got my master's degree next door at University of Houston, Victoria. My two specialty areas are English and psychology. Those psych hours come in really handy in teaching. I made full-time associate professor at Victoria College and was there for 10 years before my husband lost his job, and we came back to Bay City where my parents and my family were. So I went back into the public school. I went back into Bay City High School, and I taught dual. I taught AP English. I taught, regular English. I taught a little bit of everything. And while I was doing that, I was working part-time for Wharton, and I've now been here at Wharton for a full-time for 9 years. I work way too much, and so I have trouble relaxing and letting go, but that's something that I'm working on. We love animals in our family, and in fact, I'm going to pull up a picture of our pets because these are our babies. Our kids have left home, and these are our babies. We have the two dogs, Tom and Cammie. We have the two cats, Winston and Meredith. Meredith is a polydactyl. For those of you that know anything about cats, she's got an extra thumb. These cats are named Hemingway cats because of a famous author, Ernest Hemingway, that kind of first discovered these cats. And so the minute I saw her, I had to adopt her. My daughter also has a cat, Missy, that used to belong to my parents. And then, of course, I've got a picture of my grand cat. This is my son, Miles, and Miles is apparently a student at Texas A&M as well because he loves to sit in on Zoom meetings. This one was actually Bible study, and I told my son apparently he needed some Jesus. So, um, you know, I, we love animals, and they are just such a great addition to our family. I love working in the yard. I love reading, painting, quilting. Um, And, any of you that have known me already in a class, as I mentioned before, I work so much that sometimes I don't have a lot of free time to do these things. But again, I'm trying to get better at doing some of my hobbies. I love teaching. It doesn't matter what the format. And I believe everyone can learn effectively when they know what their individual learning style happens to be. And later this semester, you will learn a lot about learning styles and study skills to kind of help you get started. And I think you'll quickly discover that I am here for you, and I'll be guiding you through this semester. Your job is to show up and do your part, and I will do the same. Whether our course is online or web enhanced or hybrid or face-to-face, I can assure you that the content is the same. And this experience will enhance your understanding of the course's material. And in the process, it's going to challenge you to explore various aspects of this English course while mastering the content. I hope by the end of the semester, you're not only able to write an essay, of course, but I hope that your reading is improving, your writing has improved, and I hope you find yourself critically thinking, because that's a big, big part of this course, is learning to think critically and maybe learning to think about things in ways that you haven't thought about them before, and applying that ability in all aspects of your life, not just in your courses, but critically thinking in your real world. Online learning isn't easier, but it's not harder either. It requires organization, it requires you to be present. It's just a little different until you get used to it. Do not allow yourself to avoid logging into your courses or facing your responsibilities to that course, this one included. You can do this. I believe in you. The flexibility is the real strong suit of online learning. Some of you have jobs, you have kids, you have family responsibilities, you have a social life. So online learning can be, you can do it at the time that's most convenient for you. Now, you can have courses where you're required to meet physically, um, even if that's virtually. I mean, you're meeting and your instructor is lecturing at the exact time your course should be. Okay. Um, some of the courses will just be online, and maybe you just meet every so often, or maybe you don't meet at all. Maybe you just, have virtual office hours and that sort of thing. So you've got to be careful that you know, A, what your course entails, and B, that you make sure you don't get your life overbooked. You don't have so much work and so many other responsibilities that you neglect to have time to devote to an online class. Each online class should be taking you as much time as a traditional face-to-face class would. For example, if you have a face-to-face course and it's worth 3 college hours, that meant that you were supposed to meet in class 3 hours every week. So an hour on Monday, an hour on Wednesday, an hour on Friday, or an hour and a half on Tuesday, Thursday, an hour and a half on an hour and a half on Tuesday, hour and a half on Thursday. But you still have a lot of work to do outside the class. You've got to read, you've got to rewrite your class notes, you've got to study them, you've got to do your homework, you've got to write essays, you've got to study for quizzes or tests. So there's a lot that's done outside of that 3 hours of attending class. So make sure that you know you're going to be needing to spend 3 hours in your class itself, but then you're going to have a lot of things you do outside of that 3 hours. In fact, and we'll talk about this more with learning styles, 90% of your learning is happening outside of a classroom. So 90% of the learning you do for one particular class is beyond that 3 hours you would have spent in class. Now, in high school, that model was flipped. So 90% of your education was happening in class, and the other 10% happened at home. Think about what we're saying. 10% is happening in class, 90% is happening outside of class. And so that's on you. That's up to you. And that's a good thing. It can also be a bad thing if you don't find the most effective way to learn. And again, we'll talk about that more with learning styles. For now, I'm going to bring this introduction to a close by simply reiterating how glad I am that you're in my class. I'm glad that you chose this course. I'm glad that you chose me as your instructor. And I look forward to experiencing this semester's journey with you. Stay strong, stay safe, and keep showing up and doing the very best that you can. Thank you.